Good evening and welcome to the 67th annual meeting of Members Choice Financial Credit Union. My name is Ashley Pyle, Marketing Specialist for Members Choice. Tonight's meeting is being recorded and will be available on our website. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent background noise. Participation is requested in two sections of our meeting. First, to approve the minutes from our 66th annual meeting, and again to adjourn the meeting. At those times, you will be able to unmute your line by pressing *6 on your phone's keypad. Following these sections, all lines will be placed back on mute. I'd like to now introduce Doug Bastian to begin tonight's meeting.
Welcome to the 2021 annual meeting of Members Choice, reflecting the financial year ending 12/31/20. I'm Doug Bastian, a member of the Board of Directors, and I thank you for attending our 67th annual meeting. For the safety of our members, we are hosting our annual meeting virtually. We thank you for your patience as we have followed the guidelines of the CDC, Department of Health, and the Governor to continue to provide service to you and your families. The minutes, program, and a video detailing our commitment to our members and the communities we serve can be found on our website by searching annual meeting. Please take some time to see the great things your credit union has been doing in the communities we serve. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dan Angel, Board Chair, to call on our 67th annual meeting to order. Dan?
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dan Angel, Board Chair for Members Choice Financial Credit Union. Thank you all for attending our annual meeting and being a critical part of our credit union's success. The purpose of the annual meeting is to report the financial condition of our credit union to our members. The 67th annual meeting of Members Choice Financial Credit Union is called to order. Mr. Bastian, do we have a quorum present?
Mr. Chair, there are 56 members in attendance. This constitutes a legal quorum as defined in our bylaws.
Thank you. We have met the quorum requirement established in our bylaws and will proceed with the meeting. The minutes of the annual meeting held on June 3rd, 2020 have been posted on our website under the link News and Annual Reports. Participants are now able to take themselves off mute. Please do so at this time by pressing *6 to participate. Okay, do I have a motion that we accept the minutes as presented?
So moved. Matt Hoger.
Mr. Hoger. Is there a second?
Second, Doug Bastian.
Mr. Bastian. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed indicate by saying nay. Minutes of the June 3, 2020 annual meeting are approved. The Treasurers and Supervisory Committee reports can be found on our website in the annual meeting booklet. If you have any questions, please contact any member of the committee or me, and we will be happy to answer your questions. It is now my pleasure to introduce Matthew Hoger, Vice Chair, to acknowledge the service milestones.
Celebrating 25 years, Janet Williams, Member Service Officer. Celebrating 5 years, Jessica Rhodes, Accounting Supervisor. Also celebrating 5 years, Kelsey Hartzler, Loan Officer. Service milestones are a sign of employee and volunteer commitment to the organization and members of Members Choice. We appreciate your service and thank all of you for all that you do. This year, we actively engage partners on many deserving projects in the areas we serve. A list of the major partnerships can be found in your annual meeting booklet. I return the floor to Dan Angel to give the chairman's report.
Good evening. I would like to cordially welcome everyone to the 67th annual meeting of the Members' Choice Financial Credit Union. Again, my name is Dan Angel, and I'm honored to represent the Board of Directors and welcome the members and employees of the credit union to this year's annual meeting. I hope all of our employees, members, and your families are doing well. You know, it has certainly been a challenging year amid a global pandemic, and like other companies, Members' Choice has felt the impact, but we've stayed strong through the resolve of our employees and members. The pandemic required us to think differently than our traditional approach to running our business. With the safety of our members and employees at the forefront of our business planning, we modified our lobby service to appointment only for several months, while keeping the drive-through operating our normal hours. Safety protocols such as masking, social distancing, and sanitation were implemented following the guidance of the CDC. Unfortunately, we were forced to postpone many community events and fundraisers, such as the annual golf tournament, and curtailed some financial literacy outreach functions due to group assembly restrictions. Throughout this crisis, our leadership team and board of directors were focused on the impact the pandemic had to our members and developed plans to support their well-being. Over the past year, we've taken several steps, including modifying loans to assist members suffering financial hardship. We've also suspended and waived certain fees for members throughout the year while still paying out dividends. If there's one word to exemplify the theme of this year's annual meeting, it would have to be resolve. In a somewhat uncertain market, our core value of building relationships and not competing on rates has helped us remain competitive during this challenging year. The trust of our members is our competitive advantage, and we will continue to strengthen our legacy relationships and build new ones. With the resolve of our members, staff, and community, we have had a successful year, which I will outline in the report. As always, the largest community we serve is the core membership community. The need is the requirement for a safe and dependable financial services platform. The channels we provide to support the constituent group are the products and services of traditional banking, savings, checking, certificates, health savings, and money market accounts are the basic of our deposits. Loans, mortgage, home equity, auto, business, education, credit cards, and unsecured loans provide for members needs beyond their savings. Although activities were limited this past year due to the pandemic, I do want to take some time to mention some achievements, which include the expansion of our credit card program to meet our members' needs, the upgrade of our credit card reward system or program, the addition of a prepaid card program to help members build financial responsibility while having the convenience of a card, continued enhancement to our cybersecurity platform, ensuring the safety of members' personal information, and a successful opinion from our outside independent auditor, RKL. You know, resolve is not just a word, it is a characteristic of the strength of your credit union and the communities we serve. I'm very proud to report that financially, the credit union sustained a strong performance despite the challenges of the pandemic. Our financial performance in 2020 can be summarized by stability and growth in net worth and assets. Some key financial numbers which you will find in the presentation include our assets at $183.2 million, loans at $108.6 million, dividends paid out of over $864,000, net income of over $1.2 million, a strong 13,515 membership, share growth of 17%, And we did have a negative loan growth of 4.6%, but considering the circumstances, that can be considered an accomplishment. You know, these financial accomplishments are only possible with the involvement of the entire community, including our outstanding employees. A continued focus on excellence, strong vision from management, execution, and focus on member satisfaction were the keys that continue to drive our success in 2020. And for that, I truly thank everyone. I want to especially acknowledge our president, Jim Barbridge, and the key leaders, Elba Arenas, Brian Wichter, and Gene Miller for their steady leadership and resolve, which was really much needed during this challenging year. You know, volunteers are so important to the success of the credit union. Our board of directors are extremely competent and dedicated and have provided exceptional oversight and guidance to the management team during a very difficult year. I'm very impressed with the competency and dedication of the board of directors and wanted to acknowledge them individually. Matthew Hoger, Doug Bastian, Rich Knaus, and Mary Fasano. In addition, this year, we also welcomed 2 new board members who've played a great role, William Anderson and Brian Ulmer, who bring various degrees of business expertise that will be beneficial for the growth of the credit union. As we do every year, I want to stress the credit union difference. It's a fact that 49% of Americans cannot come up with $400 for an emergency expenditure. Members' Choice is an option to payday lenders that have an APR of 400% or less than those other lenders. We also offer financial counseling for members to assist in navigating crises as needed. This type of personal assistance was very important in 2020 and sets us apart from most lenders. Our tax exempt status is the catalyst that allows us to provide value to all Americans. The credit union tax exemption was granted based on 2 clear differences between us and banks. Our structure is a not-for-profit member-owned financial cooperative. Our mission is to promote thrift and provident lending. This clearly defines us differently than for-profit banking model. The estimated credit union tax exemption nationally is $1.9 billion, and the value that brings in return is $192 billion in economic impact. That is a great return, and we must continue to fight to preserve it. Thank you again for your commitment to Members' Choice and for attending this year's annual meeting. Doug Bastian will now announce the results of the elections.
There were 3 nominations made by the nominating committee, excuse me, to fill the 3 vacant positions on the board of directors. According to our bylaws, the nominating committee must nominate members to fill the number of vacancies on the board. Those nominees are Matt Hoger, William Anderson, and Brian Ulmer. Since there are no petitions filed with the nominating committee, I will cast a ballot for these 3 directors and declare them elected for a new 3-year term.
I would like to ask the attention of the elected directors for the installation ceremony as a member of the board of directors. You've been elected to the board of directors of Members' Choice Financial Credit Union. Upon you rests the responsibility of directing the policies of Members' Choice. It is required that you familiarize yourself with sound credit union philosophy and practices, the laws and bylaws governing your credit union, that you attend the monthly meeting of the board of directors, and that you decide wisely on matters of policy and administration. I charge you then with these responsibilities. Do you, to the best of your ability, promise to do the things which are required of you to successfully direct the policies of Members' Choice and to extend its benefits to all those who are eligible for membership?
I do.
I hereby present you to the membership as the newly elected directors of Members Choice Financial Credit Union and wish you every success and great pleasure in the performance of your duties. Thank you for assuming this responsibility and taking the time from your personal and business schedule to serve our members. It's my pleasure to introduce our president and CEO, Jim Barbridge.
Thank you, Dan. I'd like to begin my report with a look at two very important documents, the balance sheet and the income statement. And these two documents truly represent the financial success story for 2020. The balance sheet is key to every business success, and we continue to strengthen our balance sheet with growth in assets and retained earnings. As Dan indicated, our assets grew 16.6%. That was primarily driven by stimulus deposits that were made. Our original plan was 5%. Loan volume dropped 5.1 million in a very unpredictable year where businesses and members were clearly impacted by the disruptions related to the pandemic. Our reserves were fully funded, and our increase in retained earnings of $1.2 million was a 9.1% return. The income statement reports the results driven by the structure of the balance sheet, disciplined spending, and a focus on the plan. These results are outstanding given the 2020 headwinds that were presented. These headwinds from the pandemic translated into rate declines based on the March Fed policy actions, soft loan volume, and member impact to job losses or income declines. Strong cost controls, capturing opportunities, no matter how small, and empathy to our members impacted by this catastrophic event drove these results. $1.23 million of net income and the ability to pay dividends back to those members of $865,000. One key metric we track is return on asset. And in 2019, as you can see from the chart on the blue line, it was a benchmark year for us with an ROA of 1.06%, which was best in class when compared to our peers. Then the pandemic hit in 2020. ROA dropped to 72 basis points, but strong performance in a very difficult year. When you compare this to our peer credit unions in Pennsylvania, we outperformed them by 41.2%, or 21 basis points. They would be the red line. When we compare it to the region, which is New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Ohio, we outperformed the region by 89%, or 34 basis points. So as everyone you can see in the curves, the trend is up, and obviously the pandemic had an impact, but we were able to sustain that margin of difference that we've grown to be comfortable with. So I'll get on to my formal report. Together, we got this. That's more than the theme of the annual meeting. It's the foundation that credit unions were built on, as it directly speaks to people helping people. Historians will memorialize our 2020 as the year for loss of life due to the COVID-19 pandemic on a scale we've never seen, both domestically and globally. Hopefully they'll shift their focus on the first responders, those essential workers who continue to put the needs of humanity first. In the darkest hours, their knowledge, skill, and perseverance brought the light of hope. To all of you, thank you for being there and caring for our communities and being the surrogates when we could not be there to comfort our neighbors and our loved ones. We will be forever in your debt. The fury of the virus was not confined to the hospitals. Schools migrated into virtual classrooms, small businesses bruised and battered by the curtailment of traffic, and our restaurant and hospitality sectors shut off as a defense to combat the spread and flatten the curve. Shortages of key commodities and new rules, the simplest, encouraged us to wash our hands and wear a mask. These small tasks did more to protect someone else than they did to protect you, or did they? It sent a message that you were an important part of our community, a key part of the puzzle, and together we will win the battle. On the financial front, challenges were just starting. On March the 12th, 2020, the governor shut down the state, allowing only essential businesses to stay open with restrictions. We were an essential business as defined as your financial lifeline. Yes, we were your financial first responder there every day, continuing to provide the products and services you needed to survive the pandemic. I want to thank our employees for being such a key part of moving us through this crisis. The risks they face and the sacrifices they made will be remembered as when we write the chapter on heroes. We took precautions for everyone's safety as defined by the CDC and health departments. One key takeaway was the importance of home banking and mobile products. They were pandemic proof. Unfortunately, bad actors came out with a renewed vigor to prey on the most vulnerable as we stood with you to thwart their quest to defraud you. In our fight against them, the inconvenience of freezing your card may have occurred as we protected you, but protecting you and your hard-earned savings was our focus. Despite the chaos in the financial world, we remain strong. Deposits grew 17%, propelled by stimulus, and the shutdown of local venues, which changed our spending habits and enhanced our cooking skills. Online buying exploded and stressed the package delivery system to fail, changing the expectation of next day delivery. Together, we became more tolerant when the UPS or FedEx truck bypassed our driveways. Loan demand was soft, dropping 4.5% as members prepared for the unsure road ahead. We saw mortgage rates drop to a historic low. And if there was a silver lining in this cloud, it would be the opportunity to restructure your debt and take advantage of lower rates. Many members did, and we counseled them to maximize the opportunities for them to reduce their term and create long-term gains. You can still take advantage of our financial wellness checkups during this time of historic low interest rates. So just give us a call. We enhanced our card programs this year by offering a card that will meet all the diverse needs of our members. The card is contactless, so you can stay in your hand and as you transact, protecting you. Whether you use the card for convenience or for leverage it provides to meet the financial challenges you face, we have a card for you. If our reward program was keeping you away from Members' Choice credit card, we've addressed that this year. We have totally re-engineered our rewards program to compete with the industry leaders. Our advantage, though, is our lower rates, and I encourage you to stop by and start a conversation. We introduced a Visa prepaid card that will help you transact your purchases today, and it is also a great tool for our young members to develop financial awareness and responsibility. Our award-winning financial literacy programs continued through the pandemic with precautions in place, and we celebrated 8 graduates in our fall classes. We look forward to increasing our financial literacy outreach in 2021. Just as many of you have done during the crisis, we've heightened our focus on spending, creating advantages of 50 basis points compared to our peers. Considering the uncertainty and duration of the impact of the crisis, we took action to rebuild. We took actions that resulted in building our net worth by $1.2 million, outpacing the peer group return on investment by 38%. The metrics for success are listed on page 7 of the annual meeting book, documenting our strengths and some opportunities. The Federal Reserve, in a historic move on March 16th, cut the discount rate by 100 basis points from 1% to 0. The magnitude and destination of the cut showed their concern for the pandemic and what effect it was having on the economy, as they were ready to use every tool in their toolbox to stabilize. Unemployment rates shifted from historic lows of 3.5 to 14.8%, and historically in Montour County went from 2.8 to 11, and it ended the year at 4.8. For members impacted by job losses, we developed modifications and assist them through the crisis, as well as fee waivers. If you're having troubles financially, we can address it together. Stop in and let's start that conversation. I want to thank the volunteers that provide the guidance to keep our focus on our mission, the board of directors, just give of their time unselfishly to make our organization better. And I'd like to acknowledge all of them at this point in time. In addition, I'd like to call out 3 board members who will be leaving the board following the end of their term at the annual meeting here. Dan Angel, current board chair, has guided us for over the past few years in that capacity. And thank you, Dan, for your counsel and focus on our mission. Mary Fasano has served for 11 years and holds the honor of the first female board chair, where she served that role for 6 years. Thank you, Mary, for being a pioneer and for your leadership. And Rich Knaus has served for more than 30 years and has been at the backbone of some very difficult decisions that we've had to make along the way. Thanks, Rich, for your support and guidance, which has been so critical over the years for keeping us true to our mission. The senior team was also critical in our success over this year, with many of the challenges it presented. Albert Renas, Brian Wichter, and Jean Miller together constitute the formula for success. And I'm fortunate to have them in leadership roles, and their guidance through this pandemic was priceless. Empathy, understanding, community, and purpose are all words that Members' Choice focus on in the development of its mission. As I close my report, I pause to reflect on those who were victims of the pandemic. I pause to reflect on those heroes who gave us hope and got us through. But most importantly, I pause and thank all of you for believing in Members' Choice as witnessed in your membership. And I close with the solace knowing that together we've got this. Thank you. You will be receiving very shortly a letter in the mail from me explaining a resolution passed by the board. Included in that is a ballot for a vote on a referendum converting our state credit union charter to a federal charter. The board analyzed and debated this move over a period of several months and determined that the federal charter best supports our strategies for growth and provides the best platform for us to serve our members. On February 24th, 2021, the board unanimously passed a resolution to convert the charter and operate under a federal charter regulated by the NCUA, National Credit Union Administration. NCUA has been our insurer providing the federal guarantee to your deposits since our founding in 1954. They will assume the responsibility as our regulator if this resolution is passed by the membership. Please read the letter and vote to support the resolution. Your signature, supported by some key information, along with your vote, can be put in the postage paid envelope and mailed or dropped off at any branch. Ballots are due back by 5 p.m. on April 28th, 2021. Remember, your vote is your voice, and we thank you for your support on this very important issue. The President's Award is a very special, has a very special meaning to me personally, because it's one that I select one of our non-exempt employees who sets a standard for living our corporate values. And it should not be confused about that it's the person who works the hardest, although it could be. But the recognition is focused on how they work with members and our team in living our corporate values. I'd like to acknowledge the past recipients who are on the call this evening. 2008, Emily Showers. 2011, Carol Altimer. 2015, Deb Kowaleski. 2016, Jessica Rhodes. 2017, Mary Grotti. 2018, Doreen Artley. And 2019, Barb Gemberling. It's always a challenge to just select one member of our team for this honor, and the scorecard mirrors our corporate missions. Leading change through innovation. This year's recipient has been critical in our process improvement initiatives. The attention to detail so critical to the process comes naturally. Leadership through the relentless pursuit of excellence. Leading by example is a key trait of this recipient possesses. The steadfast support of management team and concerns for all of our teams defines her leadership. Respect for all, integrity always. It's easy to be open, honest, but what defines this year's recipient is the focus on maintaining a team member's self-esteem when delivering feedback. One team committed to common goals. This recipient always focuses on outcomes. Our outcomes, your financial and personal safety, consistently offering a helping hand. And everyone plays an important role in our success. This recipient is all-inclusive and has encouraged the team to stay in the game through the grueling and mentally difficult year we had. I'd like to congratulate Natalie Waltz on the achievement of being selected the 2020 President's Award winner. Congratulations, Natalie, well deserved. And now I return the floor to Chairman Dan Angel.
Thanks, Jim. Congratulations, Natalie. We appreciate your attendance to the Members' Choice Annual Meeting. Participants are now able to take themselves off mute. Please do so at this time by pressing *6 to participate. I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Mr. Ulmer, can I get a second?
I'll second. At Hover.
Mr. Hoger, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Okay, the 67th annual meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all, and please stay safe.